welcome, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Mary Carolyn. I am a diamond coach, and I have been in this business for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in February, which is really, really exciting. And I just have to say that this is probably my favorite part of my job as a coach, because this business has changed my life and my family's life so much, and it's just so fun to talk about it and share that. So again, thanks for tuning in. I am going to talk a little bit about how I work my coaching business with a busy schedule where I still work full time. But first, I just want to tell you a little tiny bit about me. My weight loss journey has been a roller coaster, to say the least. In the past 4 years, I have lost around 170 pounds, and a lot of that was before I found Beachbody. I have been through parts of my journey where I was losing weight in a very unhealthy way. I went through parts of my journey where I became really obsessed with every little thing I ate and became really sick to the point where my hair was falling out. I just never found a life of balance until I was introduced to challenge groups and discovered Beachbody. And whenever I did, I just absolutely fell in love with the community and knew that I needed to surround myself with it more. Decided to become a coach on a whim, and I don't know, like I said before, it's just changed my life and my family's life ever since then. But I know that we're all really busy, and I know that it can be kind of scary to take on one more thing when it seems like a lot of times we can't even get through the day with the tasks that we already have. Everyone is busy, whether it's work or, a house full of kiddos or whatever it is that makes you typically feel like you're being torn in a million different directions. We are all really, really busy. But the awesome part of this is that, first of all, you give it the time that you're able to give it. I do want to say that this business becomes a thriving business for you if you treat it like a thriving business. So folks who are able to give it more time right off the bat, their businesses might thrive a little bit quicker. But I am here to tell you that you can grow a successful business in Beachbody with an hour a day. And part of that is that we are part of the #1 team, and the entire company has been the #1 team for 3 years running now. And we have access to some really, really amazing tools, some really amazing trainings that help us streamline our work so that we're not just floundering around, wasting our time wondering what the heck to do. We get trainings. We're told, you do this, you will be successful. You do this, this is, the task that you need to get done in a day. And that's really wonderful. It's for someone to just be able to tell you what to do and you do it. I definitely also want to say that 1 hour a day is a lot. Some people might not think that they have 1 hour of day, but I have to say that I used to spend a ton of time just scrolling Facebook or Instagram or sitting on the couch watching TV. So while I told myself I didn't have a ton of time, I actually had a little bit more than I thought. I am really busy. I do still to this day work full time. In fact, whenever I first started coaching, I worked full time, and I also babysat 3, 4, 5 nights a week sometimes, just so that we were able to pay the bills. I since have fired all the bad kids. Not really. I still babysit every now and then, just for 2 families that I've fallen in love with their kiddos, but now I do it not to pay our bills, but I do it because I love the kids that I get to spend time with. And I did have to give up a few of the babysitting jobs because I just needed to give that time to my coaching business, which is my whole heart and soul now. But really, we all have some time, and what I had to do in the very beginning was work in little pockets of time. So I mentioned the whole 1 hour a day thing, and we refer to that as the power hour. We have developed a really awesome thing where we have a list of things that we have to do, reach out to our friends, check in on our challenge groups, all of that good stuff. stuff, and we have been able to compact it into 1 hour for busy people. And I had to, whenever I first started working my business, and I still do this a lot, is work in pockets. So whenever I first wake up in the morning, I do my workout, and I will sit down for 15 minutes and check in with my challengers. And then on my lunch break, I get like 30 minutes for lunch. I will look at my messages. I will try to respond to as many messages as I can. I will try to answer my emails and check in on my challenge group. And then, if I'm like out and about for the day, if I'm waiting for my oil change, which I just had to do the other day, so that's why it's fresh in my mind, I'm sitting there, instead of scrolling Facebook on my phone, I'm responding to some emails or, inviting some of my friends to my next challenge group. Whatever it is, I just try to use my time a little bit more effectively. And I really try to plan, because busy people get stuff done. And I think that's because we're really good at planning. We know what we have to get done, and we're able to make lists and do it. So that is personally how I work in little pockets during the day. Then once I get home, I sit down and I do the rest of my daily tasks that I need to do. So I will sit down at my computer, hammer it all out, and then in the evenings, that time is for my family, because that's why I work this business. I want to become a full-time coach. That is my big goal in this business, and I know that it's going to happen. I really want to start a family, raise my babies, and be home with them and work a job that I'm passionate about and that I love and that fulfills me. So in the evenings, I am not willing to give up a certain amount of time with my family, and that is totally okay. I sit down and have dinner with my husband. I spend some time with him, and then in the evenings, whenever he gets up to go take his shower and start getting ready for bed, I get back to my computer and I send some more messages and I send some emails, and whatever it is that I need to do, whatever I need to finish up, I do in that time. Sometimes that means I'm staying up really late. Sometimes he's already asleep whenever I go to bed. I try to give him as much time as possible, but I am all about short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain, and I know that when I put time into my business, it pays off. It pays off in bucket loads. My first year in the business, I just put my head down and I worked, and it paid off. We went from me having to work, my current job and babysit 3, 4, 5 nights a week, barely being able to pay our bills, to we purchased our dream house a year ago and have been able to travel thanks to Beachbody and, take amazing vacations, and just none of it would have been possible if I wouldn't have buckled down, made a schedule that worked for me and my family, where I still got time with them, but maybe just didn't watch as much TV. Maybe I didn't scroll Facebook as much. I just sat down and worked. But that is how I personally have gotten it done. I know there's moms who have worked their business during nap time. There's nurses like Deidre, who you heard from earlier, who she, would do her posts on social media during her lunch break and then run to check on her patients. Whenever it's something that you're passionate about, whenever it's something that you're trying to create freedom for your family with, you make it work. So that is pretty much all that I really wanted to cover in this, but I hope that whatever it is that's holding you back, if it's time, just trust me that you have the time and you can make it work. Maybe it's sacrificing a little bit of sleep or, some of the other things that we discussed, but busy people get stuff done. You know how to plan, you know how to prioritize, and you totally, totally could rock the heck out of this business. I hope that this helped answer some of your questions. If you have anything else, leave it in the comments below, but you'll be hearing from some other coaches throughout the day and throughout tomorrow as well. So be sure to stay tuned.